Jail for this man, as he is behind on child support.
Ms. Adams, now your son, Mr. Adams, is joining us via satellite from Flint, Michigan, because he's been prohibited by law enforcement from leaving your home state. And you claim he's on the verge of being arrested for back child support, and you're both with us today to prove he's not the father of the defendant's 3-year-old son.
The mother of Mr. Adams explains how their son got into this situation.
Your Honor, my son is now facing jail because of this situation.
This very moment, you're concerned that he could be arrested for failure to pay child support for a child that both of you have doubts is even his child.
Mr. Adams felt they never had a relationship when asked to explain the nature of their relationship.
You were in a relationship with Ms. Williams?
No, I really wouldn't call it no relationship.
Ms. Williams felt the same way about their relationship when it came to how serious it was.
I mean, no, when we was young at the time, we hooked up on and off, and it just.
So it was just an on and off thing.
Yeah, it was just an on and off thing.
So if it wasn't committed during that time, were you also sleeping with other men as well?
Yes, ma'am, I was.
Miss Williams is not sure he is the father. She claimed it's a possibility, and that she never outrightly claimed he is the father. When she got.
All right, so the doubts that Mr. Adams and his mother have, they are valid doubts.
It's a possibility. I never, said, oh, you are the father or you gonna take care of this baby or nothing like that.
When she got pregnant, she thought it was her ex's baby.
So when you got pregnant, you didn't even include Mr. Adams in this equation.
No, I didn't.
You thought it was your ex's. And your ex said, well, it's mine too, and you all went through this whole process, but then you had a test, it was not your ex's. So immediately then you said it was Mr. Adams.
Yes, I located him and I told him it's a possibility that you may be the father.
When she needed help and went to the state, she dropped his name as the father.
Yes, I did.
And you gave the state his name.
Yes, I did.
And then he was ordered to go to court.
Yes, he was.
Mr. Adams, did you go to court?
No, Your Honor, only due to the fact that I was incarcerated, so I didn't receive any court subpoenas, anything, Your Honor. I was incarcerated.
Mr. Adams' mother claims she overheard Miss Williams telling her son the child is not his.
But the other conversation came about in my very own living room while I was in the kitchen. And she and my daughter was talking, and the question came up again, was my son the father of the child? And she said no.
That's
actually.
So you heard her say no?
Yes, she said no in my living room. And she's over there talking about it's a lie, and she was in my very own living room.
Miss Williams denies it all.
Matter of fact, I take that back. I wasn't 9 months pregnant. I was still in the middle of the pregnancy, and that's when I told you when I was with my ex, and I thought it was my ex at the time because I was still messing with my ex. That's what the agreement was between me and my ex at the time.
So you said it's not his?
Yes.
Why didn't Mr. Adams take the DNA test?
She said it was a strong possibility.
You didn't believe that?
No, Your Honor.
Why?
Because first off, she had already told me that the baby wasn't mine. Then she named the baby after her ex-boyfriend.
The mother provided the judge with the evidence of her arrears.
Total arrears are over $1,000.
Over $2,000.
So this situation just keeps escalating.
Mr. Adams narrated how he ended up in jail for not paying child support.
What happened?
Basically, I was walking to the store to get some cigarettes. Police just ran our names. Now, I didn't even know I had a warrant. So I gave them my name proud, like, I'm Lassiter Adams. I ain't think I had no warrant. Come to find out, he come back to me like, oh, Mr. Adams, you got a warrant for child support. I'm like, what?
The features of the baby were examined by the mother, who felt the child looked nothing like her son.
No, I can't see it, Your Honor. To me, he favors his mother.
Do you see it at all, Ms. Williams?
Like I said, looks don't mean anything. Sometimes he do, sometimes he don't.
It's time for the results.
In the case of Adams v. Williams, it has been determined that Mr. Adams is not the father.
Ms. Prickett insists he is. Their year-long relationship led to the baby's birth, but also to many problems.
This is a case of Reyes versus Pickett.
Mr. Reyes, you doubt you fathered Miss Prickett's daughter, Moon, and are certain her father is the defendant's ex-husband. You've petitioned the court for a forensic voice analysis. Miss Prickett, you are certain that the plaintiff is Moon's father. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Well, this should be my first child, Your Honor. There's a possibility that she's not. A lot of circumstances that are mysterious, and I would love to find some closure. Yes,
this really bothers you.
Yes, Your Honor.
I see she's currently pregnant. This has to add to the stress. So, Miss Prickett, Mr. Reyes believes you're setting him up to raise a child that isn't his.
Joseph is definitely the father. He has a great bond with Moon. This is insane that he even thinks that he's not.
We want to figure out, why would he think? So take me to the nature of your relationship.
At work, he put his number in my phone.
And then you just were dating casually?
Yes, Your Honor.
And you're together for about how long?
A year.
And everything's going fine?
Yes.
I accused him of cheating, and we went to couples court.
Was he cheating?
No, he wasn't.
Mr. Reyes's worries about Ms. Prickett cheating seem true, with some of his concerns making sense.
This is new to me that he doesn't believe that he's the father.
She used to say, if you question me about cheating, then you must be cheating yourself, while she's questioning me about cheating.
That is a very old adage. The person that's usually accusing is usually the person that's doing it.
Right.
What has she done? What has happened?
Well, there's a few things, you know. I woke up around 4 in the morning, and she wasn't home. Her car was gone from the driveway.
That's odd, Miss Prickett.
Ms. Prickett's stories are wild and confusing, making Mr. Reyes and Judge Lauren question her credibility.
Well, it was actually 6 in the morning.
She got back at 6.
I do have a child with my ex-husband. I needed to resolve issues with him.
5 in the morning?
You know, that was his only time.
Okay, so even if that's the only time, why wouldn't you tell Mr. Reyes?
He was sleeping.
Miss Prickett, that don't make no kind of sense. I just woke up in the middle of the night, resolve issues with my ex. I don't tell my boyfriend. That makes no sense.
Ms. Prickett keeps telling crazy stories like they're normal, making things even more confusing for Judge Lauren and everyone else.
Miss Prickett, who were you really with? There's no way a single woman in this day and age, late to pick her boyfriend up, is gonna decide to entertain this.
It was a crazy thing, and I wish I said no. He offered to give me $100, and then he left his phone. So I downloaded the app, and he's like, tell the Uber driver I'll give him $100. So I'm trying to help him. He says, I'll give you another $100 for doing this. And I was trying to, you know, get in contact with the Uber.
You're not using your phone to tell your boyfriend, hey, I'm running late. This does not make sense.
I know I should have.
Check my nameplate.
Judge?
Does it say Boo Boo the Fool?
No.
When the test results finally come out, they're surprising, especially considering the strange stories that were told during the relationship.
The only way we're going to move forward is to get to the results. In the case of Reyes, when it comes to Moon Reyes, has been determined by this court. Mr. Reyes, you are the father. Congratulations.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Saw you smile all day. How's it feel?
Super good.
Judge Lauren tries hard to find out the truth, even using a lie detector test to get answers.
Well, we have resolved the question of paternity, but we still have not gotten resolution as to the fidelity. Jerome, may I have the envelope? These are the answers you requested from this court, and we have them for you. Ms. Prickett, you were asked, since the start of your relationship, have you had sexual intercourse with anyone? You said no. The voice analysis determined you were being truthful. Been proven, Miss Prickett, not been with anyone else. Moon is your child. I wish I could take this entire moment. We got some work we got to do. We don't want them sitting up at school for 2 hours.
Davies appears in court determined to convince Mr. Hunter that he is the father of her child despite her complicated past.
This is the case of Davies versus Hunter.
Ms. Davies, you say that after being with Mr. Hunter, he's now given into lies, scrapped your wedding plans, now denying your son.
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Hunter, you say Ms. Davies has a questionable past, even caught her in the act of cheating on you.
Yes, Your Honor.
What took you so long to come to court?
Me and Devon, like you stated, have been together for 5 years. He no longer wants to get married. So I'm here today to prove that he is the father.
Mr. Hunter, seeking the truth, made a bold move, yet it is evident that both individuals have a questionable history.
You called off the wedding plans?
Yes, Your Honor, because I don't really trust the things you do.
This was once a very happy relationship.
Well, Your Honor, we met like 5.5 years ago. We were happy when we first got together, but then I started finding text messages from other females. I no longer trusted him at all.
Mr. Hunter asserts that he merely reciprocated Ms. Davies' actions, but she disagrees and shares her version of events.
Messages like, when you coming out, when we gonna hang out.
From men?
Yes, from men.
Were you entertaining other men?
Yes, I was, Your Honor, because Devon was out with other females.
I caught her with her phone messages first, and then I started going out, stepping out.
After I seen the text messages, then I decided to go out and talk to someone else.
As Mr. Hunter divulges more information, it becomes apparent that Ms. Davies might not be entirely truthful.
I couldn't trust her.
So what were you basing this doubt on?
Like, people tell me that she been hanging out, hopping in and out of cars. They went to a party one time, and she hooked up with some guy. That was around the time when the baby was conceived.
You just smirking, Miss Davies.
I did go to parties, but the guys at a party, that is false, Your Honor.
The situation intensifies when another man is introduced as a potential father.
Is this a different guy?
Yes.
Messing around with?
Yes, Your Honor.
Were you certain that this guy was excluded from potential fathers?
I don't know how long she been messing with the guy. He could be the father.
He has ex-girlfriends. They were calling my phone.
He didn't get pregnant, you did. I mean, at the end of the day, it's just biology. We get pregnant, and we often carry the burden.
Right.
Ms. Davies breaks down in tears, revealing further details of her story, expressing her hope that Mr. Hunter is indeed the father.
When you say, I'm upset, you do understand that these are things you've shown him. Now, we know he was up to no good, too. Did you think he didn't know?
Think that he really believed all those things? I'm gonna admit to what the truth is, but as far as me leaving parties with guys, that's false.
Mr. Hunter explains his absence from the child's birthday parties, offering an inadequate excuse.
Why didn't you show up to the child's birthday party?
At that time, she was mad at me anyway.
But if this potentially could be your biological child, it's not about Miss Davies.
I didn't want to mess the party up.
You felt like if you came, the party would be destroyed.
Over.
Ms. Davies provides a piece of evidence to support her claim in court.
Miss Davies, I heard you just say I have proof.
I have evidence.
May I see that?
They both have curly hair. My hair is nothing like that.
Can I just say, both of their hair look a mess?
I was getting mine done, Your Honor.
Don't say good hair, baby. All hair, if you have some, is good.
Judge Lake prepares to disclose the DNA test results to the involved parties.
And that's why these results are so important.
Yes.
These results were prepared by DNA Diagnostics in the case of Davies versus Hunter. When it comes to Jade favored, it has been determined by this court. Mr. Hunter, you are not the father. I'm very sorry.
Don't cry now.
Ms. Davies, other gentleman, is Jaden's biological father, or is there someone else?
No, there's no one else. The other guy has to be the father.
His entire life, he's thought Mr. Hunter is his father?
Yes.
How long has this engagement been?
4 or 5 months.
We was gonna get married.
Is it possible to still grow this relationship?
I'm not dealing with her no more.
I can see this upsets you very much.
I just don't understand it.
You all created an environment of infidelity. Both of you all are just sleeping with other people. The main person that's going to be hurt is Jaden. So now we have to figure out how to move forward. So this will be between the two of you. But I hope you keep this little...
Mr. Hilton abandoned Ms. Lovett and her children because he started having doubts about the paternity of his last child.